Hey there, awesome people! Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to tackle a classic problem of LeetCode. To-sum, finding two numbers in an array that add up to a target value. Let's dive right in! Given an array of integers nums and an integer target, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to target. All right, let's break down the problem. You're given an array of integers called nums and a single integer called target. The goal is to find the indices of two numbers in the array, where the sum of these two numbers add up to the target. Here's the catch. Each input will have exactly one solution, and you can't use the same element twice. For example, if nums is 2, 7, 11, 15, and the target is 9, the solution would be the indices of the numbers 2 and 7, which are 0 and 1. And if nums is 2, 7, 11, 15, and the target is 22, the solution would be the indices of the numbers 7 and 15, which are 1 and 3, because the numbers 7 and 15 add up to target 22. To solve this problem, we can use nested loops. The outer loop will pick the first number, and the inner loop will pick the second number. We'll compare the sum of these two numbers to the target. If they add up to the target, we've found our solution. Let's talk about the constraints mentioned in the problem statement. The problem specifies that there will be exactly one solution and that we cannot use the same element twice. These constraints are crucial because they help us define the range of our for loops effectively. First, the constraint that there is exactly one solution means we don't need to worry about multiple pairs adding up to the target. This simplifies our logic because we can return as soon as we find our first valid pair. Second, since we can't use the same element twice, we need to ensure that our inner loop starts from the next element after the current one in the outer loop. That's why if I is the index of current element in outer loop, then our inner loop runs from I plus 1 to the end of the list, ensuring we don't reuse the same element. Now, let's convert all this understanding into a Python program. We use range function with for loop to write an outer loop that iterates from first element to second to last element. Then for inner loop, we use similar for loop with range function to iterate from the next index of outer for loop to the end of list. The outer for loop iterates through each element in nums using the index I in the range of 0 to length of array minus 1. The inner for loop uses the index j and starts from I plus 1 to avoid using the same element twice. Inside the inner loop, we check if the sum of element at index I and element at index j in nums array is equal to the target. If it is equal, we return the indices I and j as a list. Run the program. Submit the program. And don't forget to share this with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we use a hash map to solve this problem with reduced time complexity. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our problem-solving videos.